today is about something that we're all passionate about in this room. What do our learners really, really want from us? We want to engage them in learning and development, but what do they want? Well, we know a lot, thanks to the people like Kolb or Honey and Mumford, about the fact that our learners aren't all the same. We understand that they learn in different ways, perhaps they might have different preferences. And one of the things that we're challenged with at this day and age as well is the fact that different learners at different ages also have different requirements as well. Most of our senior managers are all over 50, they're the baby boomers, they're the people who are motivated by the corner office, often very technically avoiding the technology. But we're also finding that they're being chased through, the new generation coming through, the millennials, who have been brought up in the digital world. They're very tech savvy, they want to collaborate, they're looking for meaningful work rather than that office. So often what we're finding as learning and development professionals is we want to create learner-centric learning solutions. We've got a lot of needs to be able to address if we're going to engage with people, if we want to put our learners, the individuals, into the driving seat of their learning. Now the good news is, and obviously we've already heard about it today from the previous speakers, is we've got a lot of technology out there to help us personalise and individualise that learning experience. And we've also got a lot of new learning models to be able to think about how do we actually help bring that learning from the formal into the informal. We can see, however beautifully we create that content, that we're able to have lots and lots of choice and options. We can look at those short, sharp videos, we can look at those UXD programs that have been developed and have loads and loads of options to learn anytime, anywhere. Our research has also shown that 9 out of 10 of us right now are looking for ways to connect and collaborate, just as Martin has said. But often what we're finding is that people are building these processes and systems saying that they're learner-centric designs, but actually are having very little usage. In fact, our own research has shown that 50% of learning and development people say that it's user reluctance that's stopping these new learner-centric programs and solutions from being adopted. So we have to really stop and think, is something we're doing learner-centric, or are we using what we think we know about learners to set the track up for them to just ride around as soon as we press a button? I think it's time for us in the industry to really stop and pull back and reflect, and that's certainly something that we do within our organisation, is give people the opportunity to kind of benchmark what they're doing. It's good once a year to step back and say, what am I doing and what am I achieving in terms of learner engagement? And what we've found through our studies is that there are certain organisations who seem to be better at getting their learners on board. They're getting more enthusiasm from their learners, less reluctance, and they're using more of the stuff that we're creating. And that's got to be something that's absolutely important for us. But these top performers, what we're finding, aren't relying on the labels that we put on learners, their preferences, their age, or whatever. They're useful for us, but they can mask really what the individual really is looking for. And what we understand is the fact that the top performers are much more individual. The baby boomers, for example, are actually the most likely to be joining Facebook at the moment. They're also the ones who are bringing their own devices into the workplace, so top executives are as well. When we do our learner audit, we find that it's not just the millennials who are interested in connecting and sharing with each other, but 4 out of 5 learners from across all age groups are actually hungry to share knowledge and information with each other. So I think it's time for us to stop and reflect on what it is that we're actually doing. We need to take away the labels that we have for individuals. We have to start to think about what the individuals need for that point in time when they're doing that particular job, and not to hide behind the things we think that we know about learners. A little bit like Mel Gibson in What Women Want. We're actually very good at designing the right program. We understand the demographics. But what we need is that lightning bolt that allows us to get inside the heads of our individual learners. And what we find is the top performers, they do that by not assuming that you're of that age and you're going to be like this and that's how we're going to design for you. But they ask the question. They have focus groups. They involve their learners in with user information. So if I was going to leave you with one question to ask your learners, it would really just be this one thing. We've got all these tools available for us, but how can I help you do your job better? That's the one thing that we should be really checking out with our learners. I've referenced a whole heap of stuff here. Let me have your business card at the end, and I'm more than happy to help you have some resources to challenge your assumptions about learning in your organisation. Thank you so much.